Hey everybody, Matt here from Matt's Diner, and today we're making Pho Gà. In my family, where my wife doesn't eat red meat, Pho Gà is the go-to pho choice for us. But I don't have all day or the ability and expertise to make real pho. So full disclosure, this hack tastes really good, but if you want real pho, go to the restaurant, get real pho. But enough of that. There are a lot of components here, a lot of stuff going on. I got my broiler on high, my induction burner here set to 8 so I can boil my broth, and then I'm gonna set it to simmer once I add all the ingredients into it. Onion and ginger, that's gonna get broiled in the broiler. I've also got aromatics, star anise, coriander seeds, cinnamon, fennel seeds, whole cloves. These are gonna get dry toasted in the skillet for about a minute. Gonna put them in this tea bag. While that's going, noodle time. Gotta soak the noodles and then boil them. Since this is Pho Gà, we're using chicken, so I pre-froze my chicken for about an hour, and I'm slicing it up nice and thin so that when I stick it in this pot, it's gonna poach and it's gonna cook super fast. And then I'm gonna have fresh chicken flavored by the broth. I'm gonna have my noodles, and I'm gonna have my onion because I'm pickling onion. And then I'm gonna have my plate with my Thai basil, cilantro, lime, and my sauces. Cut onion and ginger, going in for broiling on high. Once that's ready to go, this is gonna be boiling down to a simmer, and that'll be ready to be added to the pot. Meanwhile, putting my skillet here on medium-high heat. I'm not adding anything into it because I'm gonna put these aromatics in there straight just until they smell. Should take about like a minute, if that. This feels like it's hot enough to toast some aromatics. Let's throw this stuff in there. Not a lot in here because I'm only making 2 servings. Everything will be in the description below so you can scale it up to whatever you need for as much as you need for your family. There will be affiliated links for all of my gadgets and doohickeys, so if you click on something and buy it, I can make more pho. If you want to know what ingredients we're using for the pho, check out my video on ingredients, and you can walk through that, shopping list, the whole thing. You know what I'm smelling most is the cinnamon, but I've also got this roasting, so I'm smelling the ginger too, and the onion. It's fantastic. I think that's done. All right, when I'm ready, I'm gonna move this stuff into this bag. Now that I got this boiling, I'm gonna lower it to simmer. By the time this is done, I'll be able to shove it right back in there and start the cooking process. So what am I using? This is the hack. Chicken bone broth plus chicken broth. Chicken bone broth plus chicken broth. 14 ounces of chicken bone broth. 14 ounces of chicken broth. Bone broth. Chicken broth. 14 ounces. 14 ounces. 28 ounces total of liquid. That's gonna give me 2 really nicely sized bowls of pho. Noodles. These are the kind that I like. Small. If you get a medium or large, it'll still taste good. But small noodles are what they use in the restaurant, at least the restaurants that I've been to. Gotta go with small. I like this little bucket because I can fill it up with water and it sits nicely. And then when I go to boil my water, I use this guy. This is an old Rachel Ray pot. I love it. It's a spaghetti pot, and I don't have to crush anything up. I just throw it in there. Stick the aromatics in the bag, close this guy up. Now when I go to take this out, there's no mess. I just take it, I throw it away. Once the broth is ready and you take out the onion and the ginger and the aromatics, you're gonna add some sugar and you're gonna add some MSG, optional, and a little bit of fish sauce. And if you need to, a little bit of salt. All to taste. You do all that at the very end after everything's cooked and you've thrown out all the aromatics. Onion and ginger are ready. Oh. Woo! Nicely broiled, ready to go into the broth. Plop, plop. Good looking ginger into the broth. Plop. I can already smell it. It already smells amazing. Hey Google, set 40-minute timer. Once that timer goes off, in go the aromatics for another 20 minutes. Reason I like my induction burner is because the temperature changes quickly and accurately. So I know, boil it on 8. Once it's boiling, set it to 3 and it's gonna simmer. Okay, so all of the heavy lifting is now done, which means that while I've got 40 minutes for this to simmer, I'm gonna do my onions, get them in the fridge, and I'm gonna slice my chicken up, and I'm gonna prepare my noodles. And I have this on a setting of 2 so that we have really nice, thin onions. We don't really need a ton of them because this is only for 1 or 2 servings, but I'm just gonna keep doing this until I can fill the mason jar. This pickling marinade is really just distilled white vinegar and sugar. You can use rice vinegar if you want. It has a different flavor though. I like just simple pickled onion. This is a white onion. It's not a sweet onion. If I was using like a Vidalia onion or a sweet onion, I might go with rice vinegar because it does kind of change the sweetness level. But since I got a white onion here, I'm gonna put this up. I'm gonna stick this thing upside down in the refrigerator until I'm ready to use it. And instead of shredding the chicken, I've decided to slice the chicken very thin. So the secret with chicken, as I explained in my velveting chicken video, is to partially freeze it before you slice it. That way it doesn't slip around, move around, and it's a lot easier for the knife to get through. So look at how thin that is. See how thin that is? All these pieces are super thin. When I go and I stick them in the broth, they're gonna cook super fast. You can prepare the noodles in advance by keeping them in a container of cold water after they're cooked. And since you're adding the hot broth on top of it anyway, it's going to heat everything up. There's kind of an order to how you put the ingredients in before you serve it. We'll get to that. I can't open it. I need scissors. I like this kind of noodles because they come in rows and you can just grab like the top row out or however much you want and use it and save the rest for later. This looks like a good amount of noodles. I exercised today. I could have some extra noodles, right? In go the noodles! I'm also starting to boil up my water. We're about 10 minutes in and I can start smelling all that stuff cooking, and got my water going here. Got 5 minutes left on my noodles. Now's a good time to tell you about how you dress up your soup before you eat it. Sprouts. I'm gonna cut up this lime. Got some cilantro, Thai basil, sriracha, hoisin sauce. Spicy, sweet, spicy, sweet. And it's this collection of flavors that makes it feel like pho. I'm really curious if there are any Vietnamese viewers out there looking at this. Am I crazy? What do you think? Can you try it and compare it for me and tell me if it's awful? For my family, it's good enough for like a Wednesday night. Noodles are pretty gentle, so I use some tongs when I take them out to test to see if they're done. That way they don't like fall apart and stuff. But you really got to monitor the noodles once you put them in the boiling water, because last thing you want are mushy pho noodles. It's kind of like the thing everybody loves about pho, the noodles. So you don't want to mess those up. But that's why I have the onion too, because in the restaurant, if I run out of noodles and I run out of chicken or beef or whatever, sprouts, I'll just throw the rest of the onion in there, close my eyes, and pretend they're noodles and just keep shoving my face hole. It's a compulsion. I'm not proud of it. I take that back. I am proud of it. I'm not going to change who I am. I like the way I eat pho. Eat pho however you want to eat pho. If you want to pronounce it pho, don't do that. I don't think you should do that. I think it's pronounced pho. All right, it's been about 8-9 minutes since I put the noodles in the water to pre-soak them. You can see that I got my water boiling, which is fantastic. The timing's working out really nicely. I don't have to take them out with the tongs to put them in the boiling water because they're still all pretty stuck together. I'm telling you, I love the spaghetti pot because nothing breaks. Look, fits perfectly. Now wait around a little bit until you test them. Take out one strand at a time and test them. Nope. It's looking like noodles. Nope. All right, it's been 40 minutes. For the next 20 minutes, we're putting the aromatics in there. I could tell you the second I put the tea bag in there, I could already smell it like infusing. Good thing about all this stuff, you can just kind of grab it and you don't have to strain it. You just throw this stuff out. Noodles. It's noodle time. I'm going to move my water over to my noodles instead of my noodles over to my water, using my noodle. All right, I got my noodles back in the water. They are cooked and ready to go. It is time to take out the onion, the ginger, the bag of aromatics. Now we're going to finish it off, let it sit for a few more minutes with 1 teaspoon of fish sauce. some sugar, a little bit of MSG. I'm gonna wait to see what it tastes like before adding salt. I consider bone broth to be pretty salty. That's good, man. That looks good. This soup is ready for chicken. Let's put these thin slices in here. Get a fresh bowl to put the cooked chicken in. You can see how quickly this chicken is cooking in here because it's sliced so thin. It's already pretty cooked. In fact, I think this chicken's good to go. So that's it. It was a lot of upfront work, but then once you got the soup in here for about 40 minutes, it gives you time to breathe, to do other things like your noodles, cut your chicken, all that. Let's put a bowl together, see what it looks like. First, for noodles. I want some more noodles. Then the broth. Because I poached the chicken in the broth, it's got some bits in it from the chicken. You can always strain that out if you want a clear broth. I don't care because I'm eating it all at one time. Now for the chicken. You can garnish it with green onions. You can use jalapeno. I'm gonna put some of this pickled onion on it. I'm gonna dress it with some Thai basil, cilantro, squeeze a lime, sprouts, some hoisin, and of course, some sriracha. Homemade pho without the fuss. That's a dad joke. Get it? It's a pun. Without the fuss. If you like the video, watch my other videos. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm Matt from Matt's Diner. See you next time.